So with this little opening section, the opening section of my video, the section before the intro, usually I go into detail of what we're going to do, but I'm going to keep this one very simple. In today's video, we're going to get back to the 1988 LS swapped Honda Accord, make as much progress as we can make, and let's just get started right away.
And now, you're watching the You're Better Off with Some Duke in the Sink Than You Are to Sink in Some Duke channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
What is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another video. So we're just going to get right into it like I was saying. So the first thing that I want to address is the rear window right here. There's a wiper that goes right in this area and it takes up a good amount of this space, and with the louvers on the car, I don't think the rear wiper looks very good at all, and most cars don't even have a rear wiper, and this one I never used it anyways in the 10 years that I've owned the car, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. So what I want to do is I have this metal piece right here. And then as you can see, let me switch cameras. I'm going to just pop it right there. And you can see that that looks really good. I have all the metal prepped. One thing you gotta do is make sure the inside gets prepped out really nicely. That's right here, so that's all ready to go. Switch cameras back to this one. That's fancy, huh? Let's go ahead and get this addressed and then we'll weld it in. Then I'm gonna do a little bit of filler on top because I'm not gonna get it perfect without using any filler. So let's just get that addressed and keep it rolling. With welding so close to any window, even grinding using the angle grinder, those sparks will just kill any glass that you have. So it's really important to protect your area. It's probably not the best to use a blanket that's possibly and probably flammable. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I'll keep a close eye on it. So I'm gonna do that there, run some tape along the edge. We want to protect the trim. We want to protect the trim as well. And I don't want the blanket right on top of what I'm gonna be welding, so this tape will just kind of hold it in place. Now I gotta do the balancing act of holding the metal up, welding it, getting the hatch stabilized and not burning off my fingers. I said fingers. Sometimes it just requires one little finger, right? I'm all over the place. So with this, I'm gonna put the ground behind where one of the badges goes. So that way if I mess it up a little bit, it's not noticeable, it'll be covered. Now it's time to deal with my mask because everything's set up and ready to go. Now that the wiper hole is shaved and 100% ready to go, it's time to get the car masked off and start working our way to get ready for primer. But before I do that, I wanted to give you a little follow-up on the last video. If you can see, we got the vise right here. Now and then I just welded this up the other day. As you can see, that looks pretty good for my welding. And this goes right here. So that gets tightened down. That's good to go. Now I'm ready to cut any metal that I need to cut, and we are looking good. If I need to stretcher or shrinker, it's on the same type of base. That's looking good. Little follow-up from last video. Let's just get back to work now, man. so we are moving along just as I was hoping. Now usually I prime just little sections that are needed to be primed, but with this car I'm going to prime probably 90% of it, and the 10% that I'm not going to prime, the roof for example, just has two little areas that I body worked in, but the majority of the roof is completely fine and ready to go right into sealer. So I'm just going to spot prime those areas, and then areas of the car that had a lot of body work or that's just really a mess, like the hood for example, the entire hood is going to get primed. The entire rear quarter is going to get primed. I'll kind of just figure it out as I go, but as you're painting your car, as you're doing your project, you got to think about what you need to do specific for that project. Now that the primer is done and it is looking really good, it laid down nice and smooth, and I'm really happy with how that came out. Now it's time to get into refining the body. And the way that I'm going to be doing that is I'm going to be putting guide coat over the entire car. Now the guide coat, what that's going to do is once I start blocking out the car or putting sandpaper on a block, anywhere that I still see guide coat after continuing to go over an area, it should look like a little circle. Dents are usually circle shaped because of the way they punch in the metal. It makes a little circle. So anywhere that the guide coat isn't removed by blocking, I know that's a low spot. That low spot is going to have to be filled in. No matter how small it is, if you can't get it sanded out and you can't touch that guide coat, you know you have a little dent there. So we're going to go over the entire car and do that just to refine the body even more and make sure any dents come out that I may have overlooked. Another reason why I like guide coat is because it makes sure that you stay in check and you don't slack on sanding. You have to sand every single square inch of the body if you put guide coat on every square inch of the body, because it won't let you skip it. So once you get it sanded down, if you're even starting to see little scratches where it looks like scratches, but that's just guide coat in a scratch that primer didn't fill in, that would show up in the paint job. But if you get all of the guide coat gone and get it gone 100% from every single scratch that was there, you know you have a nice, smooth, flat, and consistent surface, and your paint job's gonna come out that much better. So if you can see right here, that's actually guide coat still there, that little dark spot, as well as right there. So I know I need to do a little bit more body work, but I also found this area to be a little bit messed up as well. So what I do as I'm moving along, I like to just throw a piece of tape on it if it's not real obvious. That area is real obvious, that area is real obvious, but also down here, little dent there, needs a little more work, little dent there. Now an area like that where I did a bunch of body work, it's not super uncommon that I need to go back to it, and that's no big deal. We just gotta go forward, address it, figure it out, and make sure we're gonna do the best job we can possibly do. this point, we have made a significant amount of progress on the car yet again. It is another video where we're making a lot of progress, a lot of things are happening. Now, something that I wanted to mention at the beginning of the video, and something that I'm not really good at mentioning, I know at the end I always say like, comment, subscribe, but my goal is, and what I want to do by the end of the year, let's get up to 100,000 subscribers. I know I can see my analytics, I can see that half of you watching, probably you watch all the videos, but you're not subscribed. YouTube and the algorithm tells you when I upload a video, so you don't feel the need to hit subscribe, which makes subscribe kind of irrelevant altogether, honestly, but hit that subscribe button, man. If you watch every video, just hit subscribe. Now, as far as the car, we are moving right along. It is a long process, and the process is body filler, primer, repeat. I did the primer, I had to do more body filler, then I'm gonna have to prime that body filler again until we are all done, until we are looking good, until everything is all good. And I think that's where we're going. Also, on my Patreon video this week, the video that I posted on my Patreon video for this week, I'm doing a weekly upload over there every single week, guaranteed. There's going to be at least one new video on the Patreon. So the video that's over there is a more in-depth look in my head and in my mindset, and more of an instructional style video of how I approach painting a car, exactly what I got going on in my head, the way that I do it, how to go from step one all the way to painted. That's over there on the Patreon. The link will be down in the description below. Can you relax? Can you relax? Okay, relax. Tell them. Say, like this video.
Like this video.
Comment.
My daddy's crazy.
Subscribe. Say subscribe.
Subscribe.
Say subscribe louder. Say it louder. Alright, like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. She's gonna want me to hold her every time. God, and the dog. I'm out, man. It's getting too crazy. We'll see you on the next one. Say bye.
Bye. My daddy's crazy.